Good morning, everybody. We are going to hit the road here this morning. Camp spot was nice and quiet. While we're here, I thought I'd show you the app that I use. So this app here is called EyeHunter. It's actually a hunting app. And you can download zones. So this is the entire province of Ontario. And I pretty much downloaded just about every province at this point. But if you zoom in to exactly where we are, it will actually tell you if this is Crown land or somebody owns it. So right there where we are sitting right now, and also where we slept last night, we slept just up here, up in this zone here. If you touch it, it'll tell you that this is a general use area. And let's take a look at this. If we go down farther here, let's take this zone here. Like, we're not far from there. If we tap that one, it'll tell you that's titled land, meaning that it's owned by somebody else. So you got to watch that, because if you're ever out here somewhere and you camp right there by accident, just on the opposite, because it's just a fine line right there between what's public and what's not. And if there is no fence along this way or anything to divide it, you could be technically trespassing. So getting an app like this is amazing for letting you know, hey, can I camp in this spot here? You touch it, it says, yep, it's registered as a general use area. It's good to go. And if you usually tap on there, it'll give you exactly, are you allowed to hunt on here? Is it Crown land? And all the different public use stuff and fishing information that you may need is all going to be right here underneath this section. So EyeHunter is a really great app for identifying Crown land. For people like us, is pretty great. Waking up this morning, about an hour walk from an abandoned prison, was a really cool feeling. If you missed that video, go back and watch the last one. Really cool. Sign right there says, notice, Crown land camping. Camping on one individual site may only be occupied for a maximum of 21 days in a calendar year unless otherwise posted. It's the first time I've ever seen a Crown camping sign. I dig it. You know, just driving backwards this morning. That's how we do it here in Canada. We drive backwards because sometimes when you're cruising around in the morning, there's a damn moose. Good morning, buddy. Yep, Canada. That's the first moose I've seen this year. Some of the fun things about being on the road is driving around in the morning seeing random wildlife. Another thing is getting down to the end of a road and finding a town that you didn't even know was even there. We're in Killarney, Ontario, Canada. I didn't even know this place even existed. I came out of the backcountry this morning and I was looking for a cell phone tower and it shoved me way down here. And I'm glad it did. Oh, by the way, that's another really cool app. Let me show you. This app here on iPhone, it's a cell phone app. So it'll tell me where my tower is. So right there, it told me that's where the tower was this morning. So I drove to it. Like, we were way back here in the backcountry. Yeah, so that's where we are right now. That's the tower. So on here, you can actually select which provider you're at, and it'll show you the towers for all those providers as well. It is super chilly out here this morning. Like, feels like below freezing kind of chilly. Like there's ice on that guy's truck, kind of cold. See? 4 degrees. It is chilly. I have to use my portable stove. My propane hose for my stove in the van broke again. This hose here, I don't know, it's getting pressure in here or something like that, but this time it broke from here, so it's spitting fluid out and pissing all over here. I don't know. But anyway, that's the second one I've broken in like 6 months. So we're pulling out the portable. It's the first time I've actually used this pan that comes with my jet boil. It's like a little frying pan. I've never used it before. Today, using it as a pot to boil some water. I think I'm getting old, man. I used to hate oatmeal. Like, I used to completely hate it. Now it's like one of my favorite things in the morning. I think it's because anytime I ever ate oatmeal before, I never put fresh berries on it. You know, or seeds or anything like that. It was always just like oatmeal. As the sun rose around this cute little town, I wanted to throw the drone up in the air, but there was an airport close and, well, we can't fly the drone near an airport, so there went that idea. So today, I thought we would talk about some of the apps that I use to allow me to know where I can park, navigating the back roads, and just some tips and tricks for you guys. So let's head out into the backcountry outside of this provincial park. Okay, for fun here, let's pull up the EyeHunter app and see if where we are currently is somewhere that we're allowed to camp out at. Right, there's my van right there alongside alongside a creek. So let's tap right there. It tells me, nope, I am inside a provincial park currently. And like I said earlier, open this up and it'll give you all that information. I'm definitely not in the mood today to pay to park to go for a walk. I will go find myself somewhere on free crown land and go for a walk for free. All right, this Killarney Provincial Park is a very small park, so we should be out of it in probably about 5 minutes time just driving down the road. Tucked away back here behind the trees. And if you ever pull into a place like this and you see a fire pit, you're like, it's all good, man. Somebody's camped out here before. I'm okay to camp here. You may want to check first. Oh, what a cute little spot. Oh, wicked. That's awesome. So here would be an awesome spot to camp out. But you don't know if this is private land, public land, or still close enough that it still belongs to the park. So there we are right there. Let's zoom in a bit. Tap it. General use area. We are officially allowed to camp here if we wanted to. We can make this whole spot our own. By the creek. Looks a little muddy. How bad is it? Let's go, full set. Whoa! Whoa! We just about didn't make it through there. Oh, this is horrible back here. Uh-oh. We gotta make it out of there. And I'm not sure we can turn around in this mucky mess. Oh, we are sinking hard. We're gonna have to be careful here. This stuff is really soft, but we gotta turn this rig around because there's no way we're gonna be able to back out of that. We're gonna have to do like a 900-point turn. We can't go back very far. And my back tires are spinning. Oh no. Alright, let's get this turn. Just about back on the road. We got the compressor on, the air locker. Now the rear differential has 2 tires a turn. Oh, oh, that was a way better idea. Oh, it was way better. So when I went in before, I turned from up that little sideway that we were in. I drove right through everybody else's ruts. And that is very deep. And that one is hugely deep. The van went right down. You could hear that stuff hit the bottom. So yeah, when we drove out, we just drove on the high side here and here, avoiding this puddle. That was the hard one. So was that one over there. What's a day without a little bit of mud and fun and games, right? My van looks super good covered in mud. Look at that. My kind of morning. There's a Jeep just drove by. I think he wants to chat.
It was really great to run into another overland and off-road enthusiast and have the chance to talk about what he uses to navigate the roads out here. It was in perfect timing with the video that I was making today. Robert was great to meet you, and he even gave me a list of some trails that I gotta go check out. And then there's our dog Cruz.
Really?
He was being a jerk today.
I pull the camera out and you stop being like that. You're like, no, I'm a nice puppy.
Yeah.
Why don't you come over here and show everybody what you were just doing? Ah!
There he is.
Are you all right? Are you all right? You look so innocent. Everybody always thinks, oh, he's such a sweet puppy.
All right, until
Are you a sweet puppy? Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Ah! Give me a kiss. No, just nice said kiss. See? Oh, that was awesome. Good conversation with somebody who's big into overlanding out here. And it was great because we were on the topic of apps. And he was telling me that he uses the Gaia app that I've showed you guys before. Yeah, we'll get into this. I want to go down and explore a little bit. We'll talk a little bit more about some of the apps that I use for finding like roads and how to get in and out of places. It's a great big open area here. It looks like a lot of people have done dumping in here though. Like there's an old RV thing there. That's what it looks like. You know, there's a trailer and stuff. This is gross in here. So the guy in the Jeep I was talking to, this is the app that he used. It's called Gaia. If you're looking for it, that's what the app looks like. I use this one for all of my road adventuring. I use multiple different apps out there. Each of them have their own purpose. But there's a road right here, and it's not showing on here anywhere. So before we go down it, let's check and see what the land is here. Make sure we're good to go. I think that's that side of the road is an Indian reserve. Don't mess around on that land, my friends. So that side of the road is Indian reserve. This side is a enhanced management area. So yeah, it says the existing level of activity will be maintained. I'm pretty sure you're allowed to drive on the roads here. You're allowed to hunt in this area. Road public use, yes. Okay, so we're gonna go down the road here. But if you look at the actual map itself, this entire zone is a non-general use area. So that's a pretty big zone that you can't camp in anywhere at all. We're gonna bounce up here and go into a general use area like this side here. Hey, look at that little blue dot. We're about to cross over into a general use area pretty soon up here. So if this whole area is general use, that means any driveway leaving this should be general use unless it's somebody's personal driveway. Now those all have houses on them, and that's the only difference from here on out. Is like, does that have a house on it? It's as easy as this. Now you're here, you're in this zone. This whole entire zone is all general use. All of it. So this fun little block there, all that purple, is where the, ooh, look at all the fun times to be had.
It really honestly changes the game when you know you're allowed to be adventuring in an area, because sometimes you go down places and you just really don't know, so you always got that little feeling in the back of your neck like, am I doing something wrong? But when you know the area is free game, whew, it makes it feel just like home out here. Absolutely changes everything. Getting an app, way worth it.
Curiosity. But I think because the amount of snow that Ontario sits underneath for the majority of the winter, being that it's so early in winter being gone, these roads back here, even the main forest road, is very mushy. I find sometimes when I'm back here, I chase looking for like a lake or a creek or something pretty back here. This one just seems to be going into like little marshy lands and stuff, and the only lakes that I found were like when the drone was up. That's the end of it. New Forest Management Road. This road is closed to all vehicle traffic unless authorized by management. That is the end of it. A nice little spot. I'm excited that we got the van a little dirty today. Boy, does she ever look good with some mud on her.
And when you know that you're on public land, it really honestly makes setting up camp feel so good. Because you know you're at home. You know you're allowed to be here for 21 days and clean up and take everything out with you. It literally changes everything.
I always find it funny to light fires on YouTube because you got the survival guys that are like, "Whoa, you can't do that." I got paper towel and I got a lighter. I can do anything I want. It's been funny over the years to read those comments. You're doing that wrong. I'm pretty sure burning things is not a complicated process. You take a fire from a lighter, you put it over here, and you light a fire. And then the fire goes up, and then you have a fire. Bada boom. That's simple. I've seen that a lot here on YouTube. Everybody's like, "Oh, you can't do that." That's my home. I am not backpacking out here into the wilderness. I have every luxury you could ever ask for out of a home, including piles of lighters, paper towel, and other things that you need to make a fire with. So I make a fire. Make a fire.
I know I pick on that stuff because I find it amusing because my home is parked right there. I literally have a sound system, a DJ set up in there, a fridge and a freezer, and a double-sized bed, and all of the luxuries you could ever imagine. I got tons of propane, tons of lighters. I got tequila, I got icy cold beer. I got everything that I'm gonna need. So sometimes that survival stuff is not even on my mind. Do I know how to start a fire using those ferrocerium rods or whatever they're called? Yes. Do I have those in my van? Yes. Do I have all the little means to survive out here if, say, my electrical system goes down? Yes. But when you have all the luxuries of a rolling condo sitting out there in the backcountry with everything that you need, like right now, I'm just cleaning up a little bit, scraping some ice out of my freezer. Yeah. To light fires like a caveman, it's not a thing in my world. It's not something I like to do anyway. I got lighters.
There definitely is a ton of different apps out there that you can utilize out here in the backcountry. And if you talk to anybody who's into overlanding or spending time back here, they will all have their different favorites. My personal favorite so far has been Gaia. That's my go-to for any trail ones where I want to find out where this road goes. And the EyeHunter app, which is a little pricey because you got to pay annually. And like, I think to download the zones out here in Ontario is like $40 per year just for that zone. And if I was living out here, you'd have to pay that on a regular basis every year. But because I'm only adventuring out here this time, I won't renew that zone unless I'm coming back here. So the zone that'll probably get renewed every year will be British Columbia, because that's the place where I spend a majority of my time in the winter season. But yeah, so there are some free apps out there. Some of the free ones aren't as good as some of the pay ones, and it's just a sad truth. It's the way it is. But you can also just Google it. Google the areas that you're going and see what you can find. But I found a lot of that stuff confusing, like all the rules and policies on how to find a Crown place to park. None of them, they were just had terms and stuff that would just make my mind go numb, and I don't do well with that kind of stuff. So when I found the EyeHunter app, it literally made everything make sense. I like it when I can look on it and say, what's a management blah what? I can click on it and it'll tell me exactly what the rules and policies are in that area. And it's great to know, because right across the road from here could be native land. And if you're over there camped out on a reserve, you're going to get yourself into trouble very quickly. And it's also nice to know, like, if you were just say here and the provincial park was not far from here, it's hard to tell where the park zone starts when you're out here in the backcountry. So by using an app like EyeHunter, you'll save yourself from getting into a huge amount of trouble with the park systems, because trust me, those are the people you do not want to mess around with. Don't camp out or anything like that anywhere near a provincial park or a national park. But that's where those apps come in handy, so you know if you're exploring the bush where the park line starts. It's easy to know where the park line starts when you're driving down the highway, because there's always a sign that says park border. That way you know. Over the years, I've included tidbits of little information in all of my backcountry videos, like some of my map things have made it in there in random shots. But I don't, maybe I have, put all this stuff into one giant video of all my favorite things on how I navigate my way back here. I don't think there is one be-all, end-all app. I seriously don't. I think it's a collaboration of everything. So when I was talking to that guy in the Jeep today, he said he has 3 systems that he uses. Each of them have their own function. So he has a Garmin unit in his dashboard that collects all his movements. So he knows if he gets into a gnarly situation, he uses the Garmin unit to backtrack every step to get out so he doesn't get lost. Because sometimes you get out here, you make some turns, you don't know how you got in. So he uses a Garmin, I can't remember what model he said he uses, to track his movements. And some of the other apps, including Gaia, can track the movements too, but he found that the Garmin one was a little bit more accurate. Like I said, these are all personal preference with everybody. He also likes the Gaia app and uses the overlays on the Gaia app for the Backroads maps. I use the same thing. He also uses that overlay in the Backroads maps to find out where Crown land is. But I showed him the EyeHunter app today and how easy it is to just go, is this general use? Yep. Open it up and it'll tell you exactly the rules and policies in that area. And that's especially important, especially if you're traveling in different provinces or if you're in the USA in different states. I don't know if EyeHunter is in the US, sorry guys. But it's cool because every place has different rules and policies. This is not an informational video about what the rules are. Google it. Google is your best friend when it comes to finding out information about things back here. All you got to do is type in like Backcountry Ontario, or a lot of times looking up the forestry sites will give you some information too as well. But yeah, otherwise being back out here, just make sure that you guys drive very, very safe. And I know that seems common sense, and I know you guys see me driving around like maniac sometimes, but drive out here with caution if you don't have the gear to get you unstuck. Do you know? I drive super cautious. I even got some of my 4x4s on here that are like, oh, Chrome, you drive like such a wuss back there. They also have a home to go back to, and they don't have a home on the inside of their Jeep or their Toyota 4Runner. I laugh when I see those comments like, oh, you don't do anything, you got a winch, why don't you go 4x4ing? Because it's my home. I have a winch on the front of my van for the reason that if I do get screwed up in a situation, I have another means of attack. You know, whether it gets used on here or not, I have it. So if it does get in a crappy situation, I've got something to help me. All peace of mind. We got the big KO2 tires, which have been awesome out here. The Welltec Designs lift kit, which has been making everything out here like 10 times more fun. Seriously, guys, lift your van. Changes the absolute game. It just changes everything out here. The roads aren't as rough. You know, your van doesn't rock back as bad because it's got the stability underneath it. It just kind of gives your little skinny-legged van when you buy it, you know, some big legs, you know what I mean? Like, so good. Trust me, guys, if you have the chance to lift your van, go do it. Changed everything for me. But fair warning, when you lift your van, that's when you end up buying more things like bigger tires, a winch, recovery stuff, recovery boards. You go crazy. I've got a shovel mounted up here. The shovel's great, so today, like if I was stuck in something, I could dig myself out a little bit. I haven't had the chance to use this one since I bought it. But yeah, if you're ever in a city street somewhere and you get snowed in, you got the means to kind of dig yourself out. Also up here, I have 2 sets of recovery boards. So if you don't know what these things are, I used this one once and it cracked already. When you get stuck somewhere, like if my back end were to get stuck in the mud, I could air down my tires and hopefully just the tread will get traction, or I can wedge this underneath, and then what happens is the van drives up over top of it and hopefully gets you through to be able to keep moving on down the trail. I have 2 sets. That one there is just a cheap Amazon set. These ones are the ARB Tread Pros. These ones did crack the very first time I used it though. Yeah, whatever, they're there. I didn't own all this stuff at the beginning. I didn't set out and go, I need this, and this. It was when you get stuck someday and you're like, oh, I wish I had a shovel. That's when you buy the shovel. Or if you find you're getting yourself into some scenarios where your back tires are starting to spin out here in the backcountry, you're being a bit more braver, maybe that's the time you go out and buy recovery boards. Once you lift your van and you found yourself going way out deeper, that's when adding a winch and stuff becomes to be necessary. And then all the gear that's required to utilize the winch. Nothing. A little bit of wind rustling in the trees. Some birds. This was everything that I needed. Driving out across all the provinces was incredibly painful. It really honestly was painful. The gloomy weather, the rain, the cold, all those things just wear super thin on me very fast, and I just had to keep driving to get out of it. And once I got a taste of being out of it, I drove a little bit farther, and I'm thankful that I did, because I wouldn't be parked right here right now if I would have dawdled way back then in the gloomy weather. This is what traveling is about. It doesn't have to be super hot days. Today's really nice. It's probably 20 degrees Celsius or something. Glass is super dirty. I miss the backcountry so much. And I think this feels 10 times better, because normally I spend winters on Vancouver Island because we have backcountry access. But this year we actually had snow and it stuck around in the backcountry for like a month or more. And I was like, I just need to get out here and go experience some trail riding and just days like this one here. Oh, Mr. Cruzy's stoked over there lying in the grass. So anyway, guys, I think we're done for today. I got everything I needed. I got to romp around the backcountry. Mr. Cruzy Bear's passed out, sleeping there on the ground, just like, getting some sunshine. Today it actually feels like summer travel. I'm really excited for all this stuff that's going to go on in the next handful of months, 5-6 months of our travels here. If they're anything like today was, it's gonna be a mighty good summer. All right, you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in a few days.
Hopefully you guys learned something in today's video, and hopefully you guys will run out and download some apps that'll help you guys navigate the backcountry yourself. If you have any tips or ideas on apps that I don't use, please share them in the comments down below and help everybody else find the right app for them, because it literally changes the game out here. There's more than just the few that I use. There's lots of them out there. Anyway, everybody, thanks for riding along. Come on over and join us on Patreon. I'd love that. See you soon.